Right, so this week I've been just because of the exercises that we did this week, I've mostly been working on just like the way that I read novels and like the way that I like separate my experiences as a scholar from my experiences as just a fan of reading and literature as a whole. And one thing that I've been doing recently that I didn't ever do before I took this class was try to see if I can find the characters, like the types of characters or archetypes or like symbols that I see in literature in other books that don't get as much scholastic attention because it's too modern, I guess, or too like because people just usually don't expect very much from like the kinds of novels that I read for fun because they're young adult novels. And so I don't even know if the symbols or the archetypes are there just because literature or scholastic literature is typically just different from the kind of things that your average person would pick up and read for fun on a weekend. But I've been trying to see if I can find similar, I guess, academic merit in the books that I would read outside of school, which is like, I guess, going to be like a little side hobby maybe as I continue to grow as as an English major. Another thing that I've learned this week is that I'm this semester and then like going forward with the English degree, I'm going to have to be adapting my writing because all of last year when I was writing for the ARCA, we just kind of had like a different focus. We would analyze books and we would read and articles and discuss in the same way that we do in the purely English tract. But there was also this expectation that the research that I did would have like another meaning that was usually associated with social justice or calls to action or just with other things outside of the classroom. And so as a result, I would write with that expectation, and I'm finding as I'm reading and writing for this class that the expectations are different, that I'll be adapting my writing style in order to participate fully in this major. At least I'll be adapting it for this major and then like be writing the same way that I did before for ARCA, which I never thought about before. I didn't think that I would be writing differently before, but I guess it'll be an interesting challenge. As far as this week for my annotated bibliography, I've been thinking about the way that I'm researching, because before I was kind of just grabbing at different poetry by poets that I've been wanting to read, and now I'm researching the same kinds of representations, Black women, but I'm trying to figure out to what extent, in what way am I connecting them, and how are those connections valid? Because like if I Pat Parker wrote for a different era than like a lot of like I guess the word would be contemporary, the kinds of poets the urban poets that I read about, that I've been reading about a little bit, and they just write for different eras. So is the research still valid, I guess, is my new question. Is the research still valid that I do between the two eras of poetry? So I've been working on that and also restructuring my questions, my research questions for my research, but that's been this week. Looking forward to discussing The Handmaid's Tale. Have a good weekend. Happy Halloween.